We had a lawyer called Robin Akingi who was shot. And the investigations, the police did their best. And they actually got the guy who pulled the trigger. A man called Atwine, Private Atwine. He was taken to Luzira. But Atwine died very mysteriously in Luzira. We did a post-mortem. We got these samples and took them to the girl. The girl said we couldn't, the laboratory said we couldn't detect any poison. We said no, these samples must go to South Africa. When the samples went to South Africa, they got a medical drug called lignocaine, which was given to this guy intravenously. And that medicine causes your heart to stop. It happened. So I went to the director of the girl and I said, look here, this South African lab detected this poison, but you failed to detect this poison. Was it? No. I asked him, were you people compromised or were you incompetent? And he admitted to me, he said, he thinks it is incompetence. Okay? He thinks it is incompetence. Now, I said, why? What's the incompetence? He said, no, they didn't analyze all the samples, they analyzed some. I said, no, this is very serious. In fact, that is one of the things which motivated me to take Nebanda'S samples to South Africa. Although we left some here, I said, this incompetence, I will not be part of it. Yes.
By taking samples to South Africa, of course, you are looking for second
opinion. Yes, opinion, yes.
So would it not be in your interest that we empower our local agents, both human and other? Make sure
very true. I have absolutely. That's why I said it should be the government analytical laboratories bill. That's why I want it to be empowered, but not in the form it is being empowered. Yeah.
Or you think we can have both forensic evidence bill, the government analytical laboratory bill,
exactly
amended, because there already been an act creating
exactly.
So we need one.
Yes.
So it does no harm to have this one and then we can.
Recently, guys, I follow these cases. I don't like injustice. Okay?
No, you are known for that.
Yeah. There is another case, maybe from the West, where a young man died in Nsambi hospital. The hospital clearly said this is pancreatitis. These guys get sample, they go and exhume the body after 2 months, send the samples to Gal. Gal says, we have found this poison. Okay? We have found this poison. It could never have been. Okay? And somebody was sentenced to 40 years in jail. They said this was acute poisoning. Yet, the evidence was that this guy is alleged to have been poisoned in March. Then he died in May. Acute poisoning? What kind of poisoning? But it's the, no, they didn't say it was a slow poison. Even the girl who said this is a very fast killing poison. It kills within 1 week. But administered in March. And somebody dies in May. And the doctors are very clear with the investigation.
You can switch off your
No. I am one of the 8 experts trained on management of rape in Africa. Okay? So when you are talking about rape, we have ingredients of rape in a court of law that must be proved. Okay? So how will Gal be able to tell you that this hymen was ruptured? It's an ingredient. How? They don't have the capacity. They can only contribute. They will tell you, yes, this we recovered spermatozoa here. Okay, we got these samples which must have come from a man in a woman, but that's not rape. Okay, there's much more to rape than that. Rape needs to be, there is corroborative evidence. Okay, so please girl, you know the problem is girl will not tell you its limitations, but those of us who work with girl, we will be able to tell its limitations.
Yes, you see, doctor.
And where you sit, we see things differently. Where we sit, we acknowledge the limitations of an agency, government department or directorate.
Yes.
It is our responsibility to empower government institutions to attain their mandate. If they have limitations now of law, of resources, or anything, it is our responsibility to make sure we bring them up to that level. Yes. As what they are today, we make sure we keep improving them. Now, where you stand, you only look at their limitations, and we are not objecting that.
Yeah, no. Chair, maybe I am being a girl is defiled.
And rape and defilement are different.
True, they are.
Although they are both.
They are sexual offenses. But you see, the evidence you will need in a court of law for this person to get justice will come right from the police statements they record.
Correct.
Okay? They will come right to the examination done by the medic and see if these two corroborate. Then they will come to the samples which have been collected, which are sent to the girl.
And analyze it.
Exactly.
So what would it offend if we had a top medic employed by girl?
No, it will not work because
even maybe their employment structure does not include a medic.
Not only that, you see when a rape occurs, let's say in Karamoja, who is their first reference point? The hospital.
Correct.
Yes. So, are you going to put these hospitals under the girl to manage cases of rape? No. It has never worked anywhere.
Doctor, if, for example, Chair, what doctor is saying?
For this committee, with the key stakeholders, to benchmark on forensic service provision in other countries and review the legal frameworks in these countries. Okay? I think it would be important so that we don't make a laughing stock of ourselves. Yeah. As I said, we need to develop a legal framework to establish a national forensic committee, but this would be the equivalent of the Forensic Science Regulator Act of the UK. We need to have something that oversees all the services, okay? And then this committee would oversee GAR, forensic services by police, and Ministry of Health. And as I said, some of these areas of forensics fall out of scope and expertise of government and code laboratories. Then, for forensic...
Identify those?
Identify
those areas, some of those areas of forensic services fall outside the scope.
Yes, I have, but that's what I've been, yes, said. You see, when we are dealing with the national, with poisoning, it has a very important medical aspect. Diagnosis, management, okay? Very important. So you cannot put the National Poison Center under the GAL.
Where should it be?
It should be independent.
The National Poison Center should be independent.
Yes, independent, and Yes, to be independent. Actually, Ministry of Health should play a very crucial role in the National Poison Center with just support from the DIGAL. Because the most important part.
What are the disadvantages of having it underground?
They don't have the doctors, they don't have the people who diagnoses.
They can employ.
When it comes to evidence, yes, it's actually the courts of law who determines who is an expert or who is not. Okay? It is the courts. The courts can throw away your evidence. Exactly. I can tell you, I've looked through some of the DIGAL's evidence. Some of them are outright lies. Okay? Just that sometimes when you don't know, you may not be able to appreciate. But I'll give you an example. In the Godi case, the girl went and said they picked soil samples from the scene. And then they also compared it with the samples on Godi soil. And then the match was 99.9%. Read that judgment. That's a lie. Soil can never be compared to DNA to an accuracy of 99.9%. Outright lies. The girl also recently said they asked for money so that they could bring a machine that could accurately tell your age. I don't know if you guys, you ever read that thing. They wanted a lot of money. I asked my colleagues worldwide whether such a machine has ever come out. People laugh. Last year, I had a presentation in Australia. I even consulted because there we were exposed to the latest forensic machines. There is no such thing. There is no such thing. So I think sometimes the DIGAL wants to bite more than, yes, I don't know what the, but
may I say, no, just chair, this is to incline to, you see now, chair, it is very,
in my presentation I want to say this. This bill in its present form deals with many issues other than evidence as a visit in the courts of law. Okay? So, to me, it's a misnomer to call it a forensic evidence bill because it's not dealing with evidence. I don't know if you've consulted DPP who deals with evidence on this bill. Whether this bill would support DPP when it's presenting its cases in court. Okay? So, to me, this bill is a miss.
It addresses many things.
Yes.
Other than
forensic evidence. Yes. So for me, after defining a few things, I would call it the Government Analytical Laboratories Bill.
This one?
Yes. Yeah, it would be the government. Because it deals with really, when you look at what is here, it's dealing with government analytical laboratories, its roles and responsibilities. And it would, you see now that government analytical laboratories provides a service. It cannot be a regulator of its own services. You get it? It will be a conflict of interest for government analytical laboratories to be a regulator
of its own service.
Exactly. And then regulate other services. Yeah.